Hello and welcome to week 9 of the video diary. It's going really fast this, isn't it? I hope you're still enjoying it. This week, still on structural edits, will be for the next few weeks, but I said that I would talk to you about the band. I've got more of your questions in a moment. Quickly about the hat, it is a repeat. I obviously need to go hat shopping. If you've got any suggestions of hats you think I should be wearing, or if anyone wants to send me a hat, you can do, or send me pictures of hats and we'll see if we can have maybe a request hat one week. Would be really good. But anyway, I'll carry on with that and hopefully get some new ones so that you don't get bored of seeing the same ones all the time. Now, like I said, structural edits, and I said I'd talk about the band. The band at the centre of It Started With a Kiss are called the Pinstripes, and they're a wedding band or a function band. So they do mostly weddings, but you do hear the odd sort of birthday that they do, or special occasion, New Year's Eve, that kind of thing. And they're actually really central to the book because they are kind of Romilly's best friends that she happens to be in a band with. And right at the beginning of the book, Romilly tells her best male friend in the whole wide world, Charlie, who she's been in love with for 3 years, she actually confesses her undying love for him, and it all goes horribly wrong, and it's one of those moments that you just are going to go, oh my life, I can't believe she did that. But everyone in the band assumed that they were going to get together as well. So part of the thing that happens in the year that we follow Romilly's story is that she's working out kind of this really embarrassing moment with Charlie for the good of all her friends as well. Now, to give you an idea of what the band looked like, we had some fun this week on Twitter, so thank you to everybody who helped me with these suggestions, because I think now we have a pretty good cast list. So below where this video is posted on the blog, I've posted a list of possible candidates who could play the band, and a little bit more about each one of them, about their traits and their personality, and how they get on with Romilly and why they're important in the story. So Richard Curtis, Mr. Richard Curtis, if you're watching and you'd like to make a film of It Started With a Kiss, I've even sorted out the cast for you, so what more do you want? So hopefully that's good, and I'd really appreciate your suggestions. If you think there's somebody who's better suited to playing one of the characters, then let me know, because most of these people that were suggested through the Twitter conversation I didn't actually know. So that'd be really good, and it was a lot of fun casting, particularly the hunky male characters. So sorry Bob if you're watching, but that was good fun. Now, on to your questions. Lots of lovely questions again, thank you so much, I really appreciate them coming in. Kirsty runs a book site called Novelicious, which I know many of you will love. Hi Kirsty, thanks for your question. Kirsty wanted to know, how does my writing process differ now I'm published? It's a lot quicker. Fairy Tale of New York took 7 years from start to finish, so it's an awful lot quicker than that. But I think I'm more focused now as well, partly because of time, and also because I feel like I'm learning every time I go through the process of writing and editing a book. I do feel like I'm learning. So hopefully you'll see a progression through my books. That's what I really hope. I don't want people sort of in 6 books time going, oh, she's just kind of writing the same book over and over again. I want there to be a progression and things that surprise you. So I hope that answers your question. DJ Kirby, hello, left a lovely question. She asked me if I'm a full-time writer. I wish I was a full-time writer. I write 2 days of the week, and then 3 days of the week I work for a company that does food research. So it does research into the food industry. So I write reports about the food industry. She didn't know anything about it before I started working there. But it's good, it pays the bills, and at the moment I don't quite trust my books to bring in enough to pay my bills. That might change in the next year. It would be lovely if I could do that full time, and certainly if I could get to speak at more events or maybe go do more workshops and things like that, which I've started to do this year, then that would be really good. But yeah, I don't write full time at the moment. And you also wanted to know, was Coffee at Kowalski's complete when I put it on Orthonomy? It wasn't. It was about 20,000 words shorter than it needed to be. That was, by the time it was finished, the first draft was 80,000 words, but there was about 55,000 words actually up on Orthonomy when it got noticed, so it wasn't complete. I hope that answers your question. Donna, hi Donna, wants to know, if I worry if people will be upset if characters are based on them. That's a really good question. most people don't know if they've inspired a character. Sometimes I'll tell people. In It Started With a Kiss, Romilly has this amazing uncle who's brilliant and lives on a canal boat and he's the most positive person in the world. That's actually based on Bob's dad. Bob's dad, Phil, who is just the loveliest guy on the planet. He asked to be written into a book. So he's been waiting, because he asked me when the first book came out, so he's been waiting for all of this. But he is Uncle Dudley in It Started With a Kiss. So when you read it, you will completely know who Bob's dad is. So I know that he's really happy with it. People tend to fall into two categories. You either get people saying, please, whatever you do, don't write about me. And those are the ones that you really want to write about. Or people saying, can you write me in? So there's sort of two different reactions. So I hope that answers your question. Jason, hi Jason, wanted to know if I based a character on somebody that's been real, has it changed what that character's done? It's a very interesting question. There was a character that in the first book who was very much based on someone that I knew, and because of turns of events and things, it did actually change the ending, and that's all I'm saying. But yeah, sometimes that does happen, so I hope that answers your question. And Susie, hi Susie's left lots of lovely comments on my blog. Susie wants to know what I do to promote my books. Well, this Twitter, I will happily write anything for anyone's blog, so that's an open invitation. If you would like me to do any kind of blog interview or whatever, then just drop me an email and let me know. I think nowadays every writer has to promote their books. It's really important. You can't get away from it at all, and you can't be, certainly not in the type of genre that I write, in sort of chick lit or romantic comedy or whatever you want to call it, because so much of the book is written from the author talking to the reader. Then you can't be someone that's a recluse and doesn't do anything about it. So it is really important. Obviously you get some kind of a budget from your publisher, normally about a month or so before the book comes out, to do promotion, and most of that is internet based. Occasionally you get to do a radio show, occasionally you'll do stuff in the press, but most of the time it tends to be internet based. I'd love to do some telly, haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, but you know, that would be really good. And I do things like write stories. I had a story published in My Weekly magazine, and also Your Cat magazine, which was great fun. It was really nice to be able to write short stories for those. So that's the kind of thing that we do. And then throughout the year, it's really down to us as writers, it's down to me as a writer to keep talking. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to do these videos, was to really make people feel involved in what's going on. And I hope you do. I hope, you know, that you can sort of get an insight into the book, so that when you get to read the book, hopefully in November, you will know a lot of background, because that's the kind of thing that I want to know about books. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that it works for you. And again, I'm open to suggestions, so anything that you want me to do, anything that you want to know about, any other questions that you've got, you know, I'm always open to it, and I literally will consider anything within reason, as long as it's legal. So, you know, I'm quite happy to talk about anything about my books, so please feel free to ask me a question. So that's it for this week. If you've got a question, as ever, put a comment in the box just below this blog post, and let me know what you think. And I'm hopefully next week going to tell you about a scene that I've written that's new from the first draft. It's a brand new scene, and it's hopefully going to show you sort of, you know, what's happening, and I'll be able to explain why I've had to put that scene in. So I hope that's okay. Have a lovely week, get your questions in, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.